Welcome to Memorable Marketing by MediaGroup. On today's episode, we have Salvatore Lanzillotta. He's originally from Italy, a digital marketing professional, startup founder, and he has a wealth of experience in advertising in general and then affiliate in particular. He's now working as the head of digital marketing for HappyBet, which is an international gaming company. I hope you enjoy.
Getting the best out of the digital advertising and placing it in the real world.
Salvatore, hi, welcome to Memorable Marketing by MediaGroup. Glad to have you with us.
Hi, hello, thank you very much for inviting me.
You're welcome. Why don't you start off by introducing yourself a little bit?
Absolutely. So my name is Salvatore. As you can imagine, I'm Italian, but I live here in Berlin, Germany since almost 10 years now. And yeah, I started my career in the digital business already, I would say almost 20 years ago.
Okay, so a lot of background to talk about. Your most recent company that you work for is an interesting one. It's called HappyBet. Is that a part of a larger group, a company on its own? How would you describe the company structure?
Yeah, so HappyBet is an omnichannel iGaming operator. So we offer pretty much sports betting and virtual slots product here in Germany, but also in Austria. And we are part of a corporate group, actually, Playtech. Is a B2B corporate group that is also listed at the London Exchange.
Yeah, familiar with them. When you say omni-channel, you are not necessarily talking about doing TV and online advertising, which is like the way we would use the term. You're talking about you have offline gaming establishments and online ones?
Absolutely right. You are absolutely right. We are omnichannel in that sense that we offer the product we have pretty much two main lines of business. The retail part, so we have a network of the so-called bet shops in both Germany and Austria, but we have also, of course, the digital line of business, and I'm actually responsible for the digital line of business.
I see. Okay. In Holland, there was a very recent deregulation of the gaming market where before everything was owned by the government. So there were casinos and stuff like this. But again, it was owned by the government. And very recently, it was liberalized, so to speak, with outsiders coming in. Is there a similar history in Germany, or it's always been this way?
Well, actually, so Germany, we are going through, let's say, a phase of regulation, and I would like to call it over-regulation. That can be quite dangerous for many aspects, but maybe we can deep dive later into this. But basically, what happened is that Germany as a whole started with a regulation for the entire iGaming business in 2021. Before 2021, there was a little bit of a mess in terms of regulation because it was also managed on a federal state level. So it means that every single state or land here in Germany was like managing the regulation in a different way, but then they introduced a global regulation in 2021, and since then they also introduced a single regulator on a national level that is pretty much learning by doing, I would say, because we are going through this phase of testing new regulation, but we are in a difficult position at the moment.
Yeah, understood. When you said I would call it overregulation, I wanted to remark, is there any other kind? But I kept my tongue that time. The reason I was asking is because of the betting shops. That's something that you see in UK, in Hong Kong, and a few other places. not really the culture here in Holland. So I was curious how that how that started to exist. But yeah, let's maybe move on a little bit. I can imagine that having this omnichannel presence means that you approach your marketing strategy a little bit differently. For instance, we have customers that have a retail strategy, but they kind of use online to as a last mile, or the other way around, where they use online to drive foot traffic to retail locations, things of that nature. Is there any such interplay, or do you see it as completely separate businesses?
No, I would say also from my point of view, from my experience, and from based on what we are doing also in Appybet, we are a little bit in between. So basically, what happens? The players are different in a way. I mean, the player is going regularly to a bet shop is not really a pure digital player. So when I talk of about pure digital players, I'm talking about the classic 25, 44, range years old people that use pretty much, there are online people that are used to buy online, to experience everything online,
To live online, yeah.
to live online, exactly. Thank you. Included also the gaming experience. When it comes to retail players, we are talking a lot about a different audience, I would say. There is, of course, a little bit of overlapping, because also the customers that enter the shops and used to play in shop, they also use the app of Appybet also to place bets. Mm-hmm. In this case, so there is a little bit of overlapping, but when it comes to strategy, we have, of course, an overall strategy for the entire company, but then we have specifics segments for both, retail and digital.
Okay, well, let's talk about this, like this overall marketing strategy. I can imagine you don't want to give away all your secrets, but maybe there's some words overall that you could put to it.
Yeah, absolutely. So in terms of marketing, let's say that the overall strategy is to have a common message. So to try to transfer the same, of course, brand identity. But then when it comes to the investments and the tactics inside the strategy, for example, for the digital, we really focus on pure digital. I mean, and when I say pure digital, I'm talking about, I don't know, Google search, social media, programmatic, and online affiliates. These are the main 4 channels we use, and these are pure digital oriented. When it comes to the retail marketing uses pretty much 2 main big channels. One is like the shops, because the shop, they market themselves in a way. So there is, of course, support from Appybet, from the company, in order, to make them ready, marketing ready in a way. On the other side, they then support the entire network with campaigns that can be TV campaigns, radio campaigns, or something between digital and offline, the so-called digital out of home. There is something new that we are eager to test and try here in Germany very, very soon.
Yeah, we do a lot of it ourselves, also connected TV and things of that nature, seeing a lot of good results for our clients. Just for our viewers and listeners, digital out of home is just like regular out of home, but you buy it not like fixed, so you don't have the same position for a week or a month or whatever you end up buying. You have a share of a digital billboard. You can also target it very precisely, so you can do it during certain times. You can do it only in certain areas. You can do it based on the weather, change the creative. There are lots of opportunities. And It most resembles, I think, programmatic
Exactly.
display advertising in that way. So a lot of things that you can do.
You nailed it perfectly. I mean, it's like, for me, it's like getting the best out of the digital advertising and placing it in the real world.
Yeah.
Because then it's pretty much, as you mentioned, digital billboard where you buy ad space on a programmatic basis.
Sure. All right. So basically, you have a track of promotion for the group. Let's call it brand advertising. Then each product has their sort of own, or segment has their sort of own performance-based advertising with online, mostly online. The shops mostly just like in-shop, point of sale type promotional material. Is that the media?
Yeah. This is like the kind of media mix. Of course, when it comes to branding, of course, again, you mentioned branding, and this is very important because branding, I mean, the retail network is also like pretty much a living branding campaign for the entire group. That means that the more shops we have here in Germany and Austria, the happier I am, because of course this is, for me, as responsible for the digital business, as it's pretty much free advertising, because having the shops out there, it also reminds people of the brand and the product.
It's like having a very big billboard standing there all the time,
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. When like talking about Germany, because we are a small operator here, I mean, if you talk to any German, average German guy or girl, and you mention the product sports betting or iGaming, gambling, whatever, they will immediately tell you, this is Tipico, because Tipico is like the biggest operator here is like the big guy in Germany. They own more than 50% of the market. So this is pretty much, it's like Google. It's in a way like Google for the search. It's like Tipico for sports betting in Germany. It's like a synonym, pretty much.
So how do you compete?
Good question. You need to, it's pretty much, in my opinion, it's all about the product and the customer experience. The idea is pretty much to offer, of course, you can leverage other very specific elements, like, I don't know, the odds. You can leverage a little bit the odds, and you can get a margin there to attract, like, let's say, the experience better. Or you work on a different level of customer support, because customer support, this is also something very important for the digital players. And or you work on the product itself on the digital side, because offering a very good product from a user experience point of view, but also like offering, for example, specific bonuses to the players can help to attract more players, and most important, to retain them, because this is like, in iGaming is like, it's a big challenge, retain players, because there's a high competition. So it's pretty much, I would say, it's not that difficult to attract new users, because an iGaming player is not gonna play with one operator only. On average, they use like 2-3 different operators at the same time.
Very opportunistic. That was Memorable Marketing by MediaGroup, this episode with Salvatore Lanzillotta. I found it a very interesting conversation, especially to get a little bit more inside knowledge about the iGaming space. I hope you found it interesting too. If you want to see more of these types of conversations, you can subscribe and like and whatever else people say on these things. Until next time.